Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. How are you? Today I am 7 weeks into my trying to lose my regain journey. And the big news is that I think I'm ready to step down my calories. So I'll start at the beginning. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy, VSG, which is a weight loss surgery back in October of 2016, just shy of 4 years ago. My high weight starting weight day of surgery was 265. I'm 5'8". I am now 34 years old. I lost 100 pounds. I reached my goal weight within 14 months of having VSG. I saw my low weight of 165, which is the high end of normal BMI for my height, for like 1 day, but I maintained in the 170s for a while and I really like that. Then I trained for and completed an Ironman 70.3 and kind of maintained in the 180s, and that was October of 2018, so almost 2 years ago. And in these last 2 years, I've slowly gained and gained a little bit at a time until I reached what was my highest regain number of 209 7 weeks ago. So I decided to try to start losing that weight in like a healthy way, not super slashing calories really quickly. And I just did like a little macro calculator online and decided to start at like 1,760 calories roughly per day. I'm still following keto macros, so 20 net carbs per day, and then fat and protein. I don't remember what the ratios are. They are in MyFitnessPal. If you're interested to follow me there, I do track most of my food almost every day. The link to that is below. Whatever. It's just if you're interested. I'm not by any means saying this is what you should be eating or this is what is right or healthy. I'm just trying to figure this out for myself as well. And if you're interested in following along, thank you. And you can see what I'm eating every day on there. But anyway, so in these past 7 weeks, I've only lost like 3 pounds, you guys, which is disheartening because I have been tracking 98% of my food. There have been a couple days here and there, if you go back through MyFitnessPal, a couple days where I didn't log because I was eating out or whatever, but you know, I've been good. I've been doing it. I've been following my macros consistently, and I haven't exercised a ton, but I don't think that exercise is really necessary for weight loss. I do think exercise is necessary for health, absolutely, 100%, and you guys know if you've been here more than a minute, you know that I love working out, so that's not the thing. I mean, I've been swimming kind of, my gym has reduced pool hours, so I haven't been swimming much lately. I started weightlifting and then I think I went too heavy and I wasn't feeling great, and then we bought a house. So I haven't been working out a lot, but I have been very consistent with my diet, and I think it's time to step down my calories. So this was what I was originally intending to do, was to stay at this caloric level for a while, and if I felt like I was kind of, I hate the word stall because I feel like some people weigh themselves every day and then they don't lose weight for like 2 days and they're like, I'm in a stall. That is not a stall, okay? A stall is like several weeks, maybe even several months of not losing weight when trying. That is a stall. If you're not trying, that's called maintenance. But anyway, so I didn't check in with you guys last week. Actually, last week was my birthday and we moved into our new house. So it was a really crazy, hectic couple of days. And then when I was like, I have to do the video, it was already time to do the next one. So I'm sorry I didn't check in last week. But if I had checked in last week, I would have said I gained 0.9 pounds, but saw little fluctuations. I was kind of the same all week, just little fluctuations up and down. I would have also told you I had a really heavy period that week. So the fact that I didn't see a higher number on the scale is surprising. So I decided to keep my calories the same going into this week. This week, I stayed the same all week, little like 0.2, 0.1 fluctuations up and down. And then I always use my Friday check-ins for my Friday weigh-ins for the purpose of these videos. On Thursday, I had like a 2.4 pound drop. I was like, whoa, that's amazing. I'm making progress again. And then on Friday, I was up those 2.4 again. So basically the same weight for 3 weeks now. I think I'm ready to step down my calories because I have been sticking to my caloric range. I've been tracking consistently, weighing and measuring all my food. And if you're not, if you have a certain caloric input and you're not losing weight, it's because that's the same amount that your body's using to like survive. So you're not in a caloric deficit, you're just kind of staying the same. So I'm going to decrease my calories a little bit, and the idea is that I will lose some weight until my body becomes accustomed to using that caloric level, right? And then I will stop losing again. Then I'm gonna decrease a little bit. That's the idea, to like very, very, very slowly, gradually step it down. Because if I were to jump from 1,700 calories to like 800 calories, it would take longer for me to lose. I would lose over the course of a longer amount of time, maybe. And then I would reach that level and have nowhere to go. There's nowhere to step down from there. So that is a bad idea. That's why I'm doing this gradually. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go to like 1,500 calories starting this week and see how it goes. I don't think I'll be hungry because I have been feeling very satiated lately, especially when you eat the right things. Now that we're moved into our new house, which is amazing. So like, we took all of our stuff out of storage, put it in the house, and this whole week has been like just mentally exhausting because it's like a lot of decision making, right? You're in a new space and you have to think about like each thing, where does it go? Where do I want to put it? And this house is bigger than, any space that we've lived in before. My husband and I got married almost 8 years ago, and first we were in an apartment here in New Orleans. Then I moved to Houston for work and he stayed in our New Orleans apartment. Then I moved to New Jersey for work and he moved in with my mom for a short amount of time. And then he moved in with me in our apartment in New Jersey. And we lived in New Jersey for like 4 years. And then we moved back to New Orleans, but we were staying with my mom while we traveled to Mexico. And we have, the apartment that we rent in Mexico is really nice. It's 1 bedroom, but it feels spacious enough. But now we bought this house and it's 4 bedrooms. So, it's not a huge house, but it's certainly more space than we've ever had before. So it's nice to not feel like I have to put this thing because it fits here. Like I've got ample space, so I have to like think about where things go. And so like decision fatigue has not like totally set in, but there are some days where I'm just like mentally exhausted, you know what I mean? But what has been consistent and what has been incredibly helpful is that I have been on it with my food. Going into it, I don't really have a whole lot in the fridge right now, but I bought a whole bunch of sausage, a whole bunch of meat, and I bought myself a meat grinder. If you're following me on Instagram, you saw that. I haven't used the meat grinder yet, but when I do, I will show you. But at least here in Louisiana, there's so many wonderful local sausage options. Last week I had one that was pork and beef heart. There are just so many good ones. So I'll fry up some sausage with a little sour cream and cheese and it's delicious. Or I eat ground beef. Like I've been eating very simply this week. And I've been on point and I've been feeling great. And I think that having a keto diet, a low carb diet absolutely helps not only with inflammation, but also with mental clarity. And I think it would be much more mentally fatiguing to be doing what I'm doing right now, in addition to like being very busy at work, if I weren't eating properly. Honestly, like this is what keeps me motivated to eat on track, is obviously not the scale because the scale isn't really moving, but feeling good, physically feeling good and mentally feeling good. Oh man, it makes me never want to deviate, so that is how I stay on track. And so I can say with honesty that I have been eating well for several weeks now, and to not see the scale move, like I said, is a little frustrating, but it's okay. I gained over years and I know it's going to be a slow process in losing. Also, I am actually losing. It's just going slowly. So I'm moving in the right direction. I'm going to bump down my calories, see how it goes. I will check in with you this coming weekend. But I just wanted to let you know where I'm at and how my mindset is going into it. If you're in a place where you're doing everything right and you're still not seeing progress on the scale, maybe take a little adjustment. Don't make a huge drastic change. Also, give yourself some time. Don't become frustrated after 2-3 days or even a week of not seeing the scale move. Give yourself some time and see how your body responds, because I don't think that your body adjusting to a certain caloric level to reach this like point of equilibrium happens overnight. I really don't. I think it takes some time. So if you're in a position where you're maybe frustrated, maybe make a little adjustment and see how it goes. Little adjustments, baby steps. It's always been how I've approached things. Actually, when I started keto in the first place, that's how I went. You know, I was working with an endocrinologist because I was diagnosed as diabetic, and a dietitian, and they put me on a low carb diet of 100 grams of carbs or less. So I did that for months, like 4 months. I don't know. You guys, if you've been around for a while, you remember because I was talking about it. And then for months, I went to like 50 to 70 carbs. And then for several months, I went to 30 to 50. And then like more than a year later, I got down to like the 10 to 20 range. So, you know, some people say to like dive in cold turkey. That has never worked for me. And I think similarly with any kind of like diet or food plan change, I think that's not ideal. I think that's not sustainable. I think or at least for me, you know, if I show myself, oh, you know, this carb range isn't that bad. Actually, this is how I like work my life around it. Here's what I'm going to eat. Here's what I'm going to plan. Then it makes it easier to imagine just a little bit less. And it makes it easier to imagine a little bit less. You know, I can't do anything in life if I can't like picture it first. And so maybe if you're coming from like a standard American diet where you might be eating 300 or 400 grams of carbs a day and you want to start a keto diet, like you can't even imagine what that looks like. You can't imagine what your day-to-day would be like, what you would feel like, etc. So I would encourage you to maybe just step it down, and then it becomes easier to envision where you're going. At least for me, that is what has worked for me. And same thing with the caloric level, you know. 7 weeks ago, before I started this, I was not really in a healthy eating space. I was eating anything and everything and junk, and it was probably like the worst eating I've had in 4 years. And so it probably would have been hard for me to imagine to jump to where I am right now. But right now, eating properly is very easy for me to envision because I've been doing it. So to like reduce my caloric level a little bit isn't hard to picture. You know what I mean? Also, I should mention, if you do have an off day, if you do have a day where you eat more than you intended to, or you didn't eat the things that you intended to, every single moment is a new opportunity to get it right. Don't wait until next Monday. Don't wait until tomorrow even to start eating well again, to get back on track, to eat the way you wanted to eat. The next bite of food that you put in your mouth is your reset moment, is your next opportunity to get it right. So while we do have our whole lives ahead of us to figure things out and get it right, remember that that next moment is literally now. It doesn't have to be next week, next month, next year, next Monday even. It can be your next meal. It can be your next bite. So don't beat yourself up if you ate something that wasn't on plan or wasn't what you intended. Just fix it, you know, just do better the next time. And that might sound easier said than done, but to me, it's very freeing. It's very empowering to know like, oh, I ate the wrong thing or I ate too much. Now the whole day is gone to hell, you know, or like the whole week is just down the drain. Like that it feels very sad and restrictive to me. What is freeing is to know, oh, wait, I have another opportunity to fix this. I have another opportunity to get it right. And that moment is right now. So I invite you to think about implementing that mindset into your own life. If you've made a mistake or not eaten the way you want to, don't worry. Use the very next moment as your opportunity to steer back onto the right course. So with that, I will leave you. I will thank you for tuning in and for watching and being so kind with all of your comments in my last video about the new house. It's coming together slowly but surely. We don't have a ton of furniture right now because our apartment in New Orleans had nice furniture, but we sold it before we moved to New Jersey. And then in New Jersey, I got just like cheap stuff and sold it there and didn't like haul it across country. So, especially because it was cheap stuff. We knew we weren't going to be there for long. So, we're in the process of buying furniture. We got a couch, we got a chair. We don't have a table yet. It's on the way. Our beds are on the way. Right now, our mattresses are just on the floor, but you know, it's one step at a time, and it's actually been really fun. You know, we're first-time homeowners, so we're doing all the things. We're gonna paint, and we're like taking care of the garden and the lawn, and like all of these things are new, and it's actually been a lot of fun. So busy, but every day has been a positive experience. And yeah, thank you so much for staying with me, being a part of this next chapter of things in my life. And I'm going to come down to 1,500 calories this week and let you know how it goes. So I hope you have an awesome week, and I will talk to you soon.